doc. So unless you got anything else to add, we can shift over here really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that was a lot to chat about, particularly for Twitch. I got to talk about Diablo. So, yeah, I've just been doing. Really, it's just been Diablo, to be honest.
Yeah.
I stopped playing Age of Wonders. I told you. I was just like, I can't. This mission's way too hard
You
for me
had
at the
enough of
moment.
Mission 5.
I just had enough for now. I'm like, maybe I'll come back to this. I just need to
I mean,
stop.
the expansion's coming out in like a few days.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So I'm like,
Dragon
okay,
Dawn.
I'll just wait. Um, and Diablo's been good. I have my Barb, which I played before, and I started the hardcore rogue character because I thought, I don't know, I thought it would be kind of cool to do during a stream. It's a little bit more interesting, and hardcore, I don't know, it adds some interesting stakes. Like, okay, if I
Sure.
die, like, you kind of, I have to focus a little bit more. But the Barb character, I'll be playing the Barb character still, of course. I just figured I wanted to try doing hardcore a little bit. Obviously that won't be necessarily the main when I play on my own, but
Yeah.
just have it there. Work on that. And rogue is fun. Like, I like Barb, but this rogue is really fun too.
What are you playing on the rogue?
It's a ranged rogue which uses I don't remember the skill names off the top of my head, but it uses there's only one archery based first skill.
Basic skill.
Yeah, basic skill, and then the core skill I'm using penetrating shot.
Penetrating shot.
Yep, and then I go agility and I'm in dash right now with agility,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just put poison trap in though. To be honest, I think any of those things on that tier would have worked. Like poison trap's just kind of interesting. You get like the big poison AoE damage for your mobs that are trying to run at you. But the arrow, the basic skill I took, the arrow has a buff where it pushes enemies back, and when they hit each other, they both go knocked down.
Okay.
And the poison trap also knocks people down now, so that also knocks mobs down. So it's like, okay, I just knock mobs down, hit a couple shots, and penetrating shot, and it just blows up the mob in a line. And the good thing is it all that stuff has vulnerable and critical, kind of bundled into it. So I thought it'd be like a good build to start with because it's all got those damage buckets in there. So I think it's pretty fun. I have gotten pretty close to dying once. I did get pretty close to dying once. I got like CC'd, and I was like, oh shit, I'm CC'd.
That's usually the way you die in
I'm like,
D4
oh
is
shit,
CC.
I'm CC'd. I can't move, and oh god. Fortunately, I haven't died yet. Obviously, I got past level 10. But yeah, and the Barb is fun. Like, Barb's pretty fun. The bleed build is fun, but at some point I'll probably just respec into an actual build that I look up. But bleed is fun. Like, I like making things blow up. Bleed,
I don't know.
I don't think
I don't know
bleed is
what the
it.
meta like bleed build is, but I'm pretty sure there is a meta bleed build.
Oh,
I
I'm
just
sure.
don't know exactly what it
Oh,
uses.
I'm sure there is. The problem with the bleed build is it requires like multiple skills to set it up, which doesn't sound good. Like,
yeah.
In this game, it sounds like you just need one really, really, really good skill and a couple others to like boost you or the skill.
Yeah, I haven't looked at every class, but unfortunately, generally it seems like most of the builds that I have seen use like one primary damage skill.
Yep.
And then maybe you use an ult.
Yep.
You use like a bunch of utility / defensive skills,
Yep.
and then with Barb, you probably do need a basic because you have to generate Fury.
Yeah, of course.
With Sork you don't because your mana refills automatically. So
Rogue is the same.
yeah.
It just automatically refills. But
yeah, you probably don't use a basic though with Rogue, I guess it depends which. If you're using combo points, you do need a basic because you have to use your basic to generate combo points.
Sure.
But yeah, so I think it depends with Rogue. Maybe some of them use basic, some of them don't. I'm not sure. But like, yeah, I've seen with Rogue, I've seen like twisting blades with like poison trap, death trap, shadow step, and dash. Maybe like they use a lot of the mobility shit. Usually, I think. Like,
I mean, dash is it's just a good ability. Like, it's good mobility, it's good escape. it's just good to use. So like to me, I was like, okay, this just seems good for a lot of different reasons, particularly for a hardcore character. You might need to escape a mob for a minute, and that
Yeah.
seems really nice. But yeah, that's the rogue. The rogue is just that. It's just going to be a range rogue. I like range character in this. Seems fun. So yeah, I've just been chugging along. I don't get to play a ton, to be honest. Like the times I do get to play, it's usually like maybe 2 hours tops. If I'm streaming, it's even better because I actually can do it while I'm streaming. And as a side comment, there's something going on with my streams when I stream to Twitch as opposed to YouTube. When I stream to Twitch, for whatever reason, Diablo 4, the stream crashes. I've played Diablo on YouTube twice. 0 crashes, 0 problems. I don't understand what's going on with the relationship of Twitch and my streaming service, which is OBS.
When's the last time you streamed Diablo on Twitch?
It was like a week ago, I believe. I have to check my VOD, but it crashed 2 times, if not more. It crashed.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it could be Twitch, but it's also like Diablo's been putting in a bunch of stability fixes and stuff.
Okay, good.
So it could be that.
Could be that.
So,
great. But still, and I bumped down the graphics settings to low. I just don't care.
Yeah, that's probably gonna help.
That helps the stream. So could be the stability. I bumped down the graphics, but even then, I just like, for whatever reason,
feels smoother on YouTube.
I have no drop frames on YouTube. I don't, crashes on YouTube. I don't understand it. I don't know what it's going on. It's hard. I can't explain it either because obviously, like, I don't know. But anyway, Diablo's felt really good to play on streams now that I've gone over to YouTube. And yeah, and even in off stream, I just like, just very hard to find appropriate time where I can play without, we'll call it, distractions, obligations, wanting to spend time with family. But I think my goal, obviously, being I got 4 weeks to reveal the map, to get all the little statues, to beat the campaign. 100%. I'm going to do that on the Barb. The Rogue is like my hardcore, like, I'll play here and there.
I would assume you're already a chunk of the way there on the Barb. So
the Barb is getting there. I'm currently doing the Act 3 stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I've been kind of just bum rushing the story, and then I'll reveal the map. It's just one big map, right? It's just one area.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just one big map. So yeah, that should be easy to reveal. You just run around. And then that's my goal, is also then to look up all the statue locations. So I should be able to easily do that in 4 weeks. So because I can try and focus. Yeah. And that's it. That's all I've been doing is Diablo. And then I switch over to YouTube because I got tired of Twitch. I just got tired of it. I get tired of constantly being like, well, what am I doing? And it was interesting.
So you said you were going to talk about it, but you said the thing we talked about earlier with the Twitch director basically gaslighting that dude was the last straw for you.
That was kind of it. I was just like kind of shocked that a Twitch staff member was so out of touch and had no understanding of how streaming worked. Yeah. In like a public setting. I knew that and made an assumption on that. We kind of talked about how Twitch is out of touch. And it's pretty obvious now. I don't know, it was just shocking to me. It was like all the Twitch bad PR, all the changes they're making, the simulcasting change, which for me, I wasn't simulcasting anyway. But it's like, it just doesn't feel like a platform that is creator first anymore. It just doesn't.
Nope.
And I'm not saying YouTube is, but YouTube has its own problems, but YouTube hasn't been like taking stuff away consistently from the live streaming side. They just don't do enough there yet. They kind of put that on the back burner too much. I'm surprised they haven't invested more in fixing the live streaming UI. That's really my complaint.
Yeah. The biggest problems I've heard with YouTube are as far as like copyright claim stuff go and like getting videos demonetized and stuff like that. Like those are the biggest issues that I've heard about with YouTube. I don't really know much about the live streaming side on YouTube, to be honest.
The live streaming side on YouTube, I think the big issues, let me check something real quick. Oh yeah, I got a copyright claim on my recent live stream because I played played a song. I have a redeem that plays a song, and it plays like part of a Jay-Z song,
Yeah.
but it's just a redeem, and it said it had no impact on my live stream, so that's great. But like, the downsides of YouTube are this. I will explain YouTube live streaming downsides right now. Number one, the existence of channel points is actually really valuable for Twitch, and the existence of extensions is valuable. Having extensions and channel points is really nice. It allows your viewers to interact a bit more. It gives you cool perks. You can set this up for YouTube, but I found it's more challenging.
Mm-hmm.
I had to set up a Streamlabs cloud bot to get sound alerts to work. So now you can redeem loyalty points, and the loyalty points all are handled through Streamlabs now. So I use just the bot for Streamlabs for that, and that all gets handled over there. And then my overlay, I'm still using Stream Elements. However, I'm not sure how I'm going to handle overlays, but anyway. Emotes are they're a pain, and they're bad on YouTube. They're very bad. Yeah, unless you're like a partnered YouTube streamer and you can use custom emotes, they're really bad. I can get BTTV set up, but you can't see what BTTV emotes you have. Like on Twitch, if you have the extension, you can. So you kind of have to like tell people where to go to see them, or tell them what emotes are there. So that's a huge negative to me. It's all just around the chat interface I have problems with. The loyalty points and redeems I figured out, and I just have to figure out how people would know how to use them. The chat UI is really bad. That one I'm not even gonna argue is good. The stream itself, where users can actually see the stream, I think is better than Twitch right now, because you actually can scrub through the live stream and things like that.
Yeah.
There's no clipping interface though that I could see. But I mean, like, it's just like been, the challenge is just your discoverability is all about, it's not about people seeing your live stream when it's live in the YouTube gaming section. What it's really about is getting people to check out your other video content on YouTube and maybe another platform, and then building awareness around those, so that they figure out that you're doing live streams over here.
And then the live stream will get recommended and stuff like
Correct.
that. So. Twitch
is the same way, actually. You don't necessarily build your audience completely on Twitch unless you're extremely fortunate. I've seen people do this where they're starting to build their audience on Twitch. You kind of have to have all the stars align, and you have to have the right stuff. Otherwise, what you're probably going to do is go put all of your live streaming content or other content on other platforms, and tell people on those platforms, come over here.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works in a lot of cases I've seen. YouTube is the same way with live streaming. You have to get people in other places, including YouTube itself, over there. I don't want to say that's a benefit or a negative. It's just a comment I've noticed. Like, just, it's a lot quieter because discoverability, like in YouTube gaming, is not very good. Except for like the biggest games, like Fortnite. I've noticed I get a lot of people just from Fortnite figuring out that I'm streaming. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think it's just the big games like Fortnite. People just come to your stream. But like, yeah, it's very hard to get discoverability naturally unless you tell people where to go, and like you have people already clicking into your live stream so it gets recommended. Twitch's recommendation system isn't great, but YouTube's is actually okay. As long as you get recommended, you're okay. So yeah, that's my thing on YouTube too. I think Twitch is probably just a better platform to stream on in general. If you want like your live stream to be interactive, it's a little bit easier to get plugged in and going. YouTube is very difficult to plug in and go. You have to set up a lot before starting your stream. You have to set up like a thumbnail, which is good and bad. You have to set up all the data beforehand, like a description, a title, everything has to be set up beforehand.
Yep.
Anyway, but it's been good. I've considered simulcasting. I just don't know where.
Yeah. Not Twitch.
I can't Twitch. I mean, Twitch probably wouldn't care, but like, can't Twitch. And I'm like, I'm not gonna stream to Kick. So I'm like, man, what are my options? TikTok? You could, but I don't know. I don't even know how you do it with TikTok. It seems like you'd have to have like the vertical view. I don't even know how you'd figure that out. I'm sure there's some other place that I'm missing. I'm not going to stream to Facebook. Lol. So it's really just like Twitch. You can't stream to Kick, which is it's Kick. I'm like, man, I don't think I want to stream to Kick, unless like I'm super desperate, I guess. So like YouTube's been up. So it's been good, but obviously it's like almost hitting the reset button. I pretty much hit the reset button by going to YouTube, which has been like super like you see all the problems and you see what all the good stuff at Twitch was. Which is what I could tell the CEO. I could explain to the CEO the value of his platform, I think.
I need to step out for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
The restroom.
No, go ahead. So anyway, while Spoon stepped out, what else can I chat about specifically outside of that and live streaming Diablo? I'm trying to think here. Let's see. Are there any upcoming games that I can mention here? I'm trying to also think if I saw something in news. I did see like a bunch of stuff for Twitter. I know Twitter is making some more changes. Twitter's like adding in they were thinking about a live they have live streaming, or they're thinking about some other things. They're also going to limit like direct messages to the monetization, the verification people, in that it limits your direct messages. And then Twitter was doing something else, like thinking about doing a live streaming, actual live streaming, like game live streaming side to it, which I noticed. But I can't say that was me just seeing a one-off of a tweet saying something they were thinking about it. So that one I don't think is gonna happen anytime soon. I mean, they can't even run a radio Twitter live without blowing up their servers, apparently. So other than that, and I outside of Diablo and Age of Empires, I haven't personally done anything else for gaming. And I'm trying to think, other than Diablo, there really isn't anything else for gaming that I think Spoon and I in particular, were looking at. So let's just all bask in the room that Spoon's in there. It's got a lot of great pictures on the wall. I wish I could zoom in on some of them and see. There's some good pictures up there. I'm a little bit jealous. It's really cool stuff on the wall there. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope when Spoon comes back, hopefully he'll share his recent endeavors. I'm assuming it's just been Diablo, but I think he's been very busy with work, and me too. I took like a half day of work yesterday because I just worked way too many 10 to 12 hour days in a row, and I was like, yep, I'm good. I think I'm done for tomorrow. I think I'm good. I'm just gonna take a break. Oh, the card game. Oh my god, the card game. When Spoon gets back, I'll talk about the card game too. So the card game is called oh god, it's DC. It's like DC Duels or something. What's it called? Hold on. Now I have to look this up. I'm gonna drive myself crazy. DC Dual Force. DC Dual Force. So DC Dual Force. Oh my god. So I heard about this card game because I was watching somebody on YouTube, and this card game was going to come out. Yesterday it was going to release on an open beta. If you got, well, it's more like a closed beta, but like in this closed beta, you got a key, and then you get access to the game. And the game had a really limited play test periods for the beta, so you could jump in at like, I think it was 9 a.m. Pacific time to 1 p.m. Pacific time on Friday. So yesterday, today, and Sunday. That was the initial release. Yesterday, it started at 9 a.m. and their servers freaking exploded. One, you couldn't make an account because the verification code wouldn't get sent. So you would try to make an account, try and get the verification code, and it would constantly just not send. It took them an hour and a half. Like, Yeah, it took an hour and a half, I think, an hour and a half, just to get verification codes to start getting sent. So they fixed that. Then the game just wouldn't work. Like, you couldn't actually play the tutorial. It would lag you out constantly. So you couldn't play the tutorial. So you were stuck. Just like, I was stuck, and at the time I was at, like, having lunch, and I just couldn't play. I was trying to play at lunch. I couldn't play. So I'm just saying, like, okay, well, I just ended up closing my computer after about 30 minutes of trying to play. And then after, oh God, and then I went home, tried to check the news on it, and they're like, yeah, we're going to extend the play period. You can jump in, try and jump in, and we've extended the play period. Then when I got home, they just said, actually, we're done for today. We're going to stop and we're going to work on the servers. We think we figured out we have all the data we need to fix the servers. Then this morning, oh God, here we go. So then this morning, is it the pinned one? Yep. This morning they're like, well, despite working through the night, we didn't solve the problems to our satisfaction. So we're done. We're canceling the whole weekend. So I was really looking forward to this DC card game, and I couldn't play it because their servers exploded. And it's so sad because I was really kind of looking forward to it. It was cool. I should pull up a video of how it works here in a second. Let me see if there's like a screenshot of it. DC Dual Force gameplay. Okay, so then maybe like, okay, let me just pull up a video because I want to look at this video of the gameplay. The gameplay looked all right. It wasn't special or anything like that, but it's really bad. Like, it's so bad. I'm gonna pull up a video of the gameplay. It's just I'm getting YouTube ads here, so please bear with me. But it was really bad. I was like, okay, well, I was kind of looking forward to this. They'll do another one, they said, and all the codes that you got for this weekend will work for the next one. But yeah, it's really depressing. So, oh, perfect. Here's some perfect gameplay here. Let me just jump to it. So this is Regis Kilbin. His channel's really fun. But basically the way this game works, and I'll just jump forward to a different board state. He's doing real match 1. So here's the match board. So the way that this works is you have 2 heroes. So in this case, he starts with 2 hero characters. He's got the Joker, and he's got, I think this is Poison Ivy. So he's got the Joker and Poison Ivy. And each of these heroes has like a special ability. I don't remember what these ones are, but like this is Black Adam. Black Adam, after a certain number of like points get accumulated, he just gives himself 10 attack. So you have these heroes. Oh, by the way, welcome back. We're talking about DC Dual Force, the game that I tried to play this weekend. And let me sum it up. I tried to play this game this weekend. It was supposed to only be live in a closed beta Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I got a key. Tried to play yesterday, which Friday. Couldn't get a verification code to make an account. Then, after about an hour and a half, I finally got a verification code, which everybody was having the same problem. You couldn't actually play the game because it would lag you out. So they had to fix that. And then you couldn't play the tutorial because it would lag you out. So they closed down the servers early because it just didn't work. Then today they were going to open them back up, and they had said yesterday we'll fix everything. Then today, this morning, I wake up, I check their Twitter, and they're like, yeah, so actually we're canceling the beta. Because we can't fix it. And so I'm like, wonderful. And they said afterwards, yeah, well, whatever beta codes you guys got, you can use them for the next one. So I'm like, wow, what a disaster. But this is the game. This is what I was going to play. It's a DC card game. Each player gets 2 hero characters, and then you get recruits. It's not, these are not specifically lanes. The way you'd think of it is like you can only attack in front of you. You can attack stuff, I think, cross. But this is Poison Ivy, Joker, and then Batman and Black Adam. And you get recruit characters, and you have to attack the other heroes. If there's a character in front of your hero, you can't attack that hero. You have to kill the character first. But if there's no character here, you can attack the hero, and you have to just kill both heroes. So it's like kind of interesting because both heroes get different abilities, and you have to like, and for each hero, you can apply 20 cards for that hero. So the deck is 40 cards, but it's like 20 cards of separate heroes. So like, I think let's just say this is blue and purple. Then, blue has like 20 cards, purple gets 20 cards, and you have to like synergize them together. So
Got it.
It's like kind of interesting, and I was like, I like DC, so I was like, okay, like DC characters are cool, like Poison Ivy and Joker, kind of a cool combo. Batman, I think, uses like gadgets, so if you use this ability, you get like a Batman gadget, you get like a batarang or like a med thing that heals you. So like he's interesting, and all the characters like they have like these abilities. They're very interesting. Like Black Adam will just hit you for 10 damage. He just gets 20 attack at some point. So like the card game itself is like, it was interesting. I won't say it looked amazing. It's definitely not Marvel Snap or anything like that in regards to how you play it and how it's like really fast games. These games don't appear to be that fast. It's a little bit more like a smaller Hearthstone board to me.
I feel like
with like
Snap
a front and back.
died. Like, speaking of Snap, that game died really fast. I feel like it came
it's-
out and people were like, "This is cool," and then it like just.
I think
died.
there's
I don't
a
know.
there's a player base for it. I think still. I just don't know. We can look at the
Maybe.
Steam charts just as
Steam
one.
charts.
I'm guessing the mobile Snap is probably
Yeah.
more popular. I'm very curious to see what the Steam chart is, though. So
Oh yeah, it's actually pretty good.
it's pretty good.
Especially
Wait.
compared to the all-time peak, it's like only about half.
Yeah. I'm guessing most of that audience is mobile players, though. Just gonna guess that.
Yeah.
But anyway, this game's coming out. It's I don't know when I don't know what the release date is, but I thought it was Q3 2023, which I'm like, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure anymore. I was really looking forward to this, to be honest, to play it this weekend, but oh well. But yeah, the game itself, I think conceptually seems very simple. Like, just kill the other two heroes, you get a deck from the heroes you pick. Your heroes and your recruits have to kill the other hero. That's it. Very simple, small board. So like, there's not a lot of like, massive wide board handling. Game looked, I don't know, kind of interesting, and I was gonna play it, but then the servers exploded, so I'm not gonna play it anymore.
Yep.
And I cry, but it is what it is. So I was just talking about that while you stepped away, because I was like, man, what do I? Oh yeah, that's the thing I want to talk about, the card game. So I'm assuming you've just been doing Diablo. That's kind of my assumption.
Yeah,
But
I've been playing Diablo, and as I mentioned to you right before the stream, I caved and decided to buy a PS5 so I could play FF16, and I played the FF16 demo this week.
how'd that go?
I like it. It was good. I am not like craigasming over it like everyone on Twitter and YouTube that I saw craigasming over it.
Yeah, it's not a surprise.
The game is very pretty, as we know and expect from all the trailers we've seen.
Yep.
The story is very like dark and mature. It is not a happy-go-lucky, let's go on an adventure and find the crystals. No, it's not that.
Is there a crystal though?
There are crystals. It's
Perfect.
Final Fantasy. I'm pretty sure crystals are they say, oh, all Final Fantasy games are different. They can be anything they want, but the one thing they can't be, like, they have to have crystals. Like, that has to be, like...
Is there a crystal in the game?
Like,
no, we're thinking of trying to do something different. Put a crystal in it.
That has to be, like, a main thrust of the plot in every Final Fantasy game is crystals.
Crystal in there. Anyway.
But yeah, the story and the characters are dark and mature. Like, there's blood, there's murder, there was like it wasn't a sex scene, but there was a very like sexually suggestive scene, I will say.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. That's bold.
Yeah, so this is not your little kid's Final Fantasy. This this game, story-wise at least, like may not be very suitable for children, to be honest. And I believe it is M-rated, and
Yep.
it would not surprise me if it would surprise me if it wasn't. I'm pretty sure it is though.
Okay.
And yeah, the combat is cool. Didn't feel like I got really the hang of it yet, but I have seen some videos on wherever, Twitter, Reddit, of people doing some pretty crazy cool stuff and combos. But at a baseline, it's quite simple. You have square is your attack button. You can do a 4-hit combo. Triangle is your magic button, which is your ranged attack. You can just shoot like fire at things. There's no MP. X is jump, and circle is like your, I don't know. It's like a special ability for each of the icons, the summons.
Yep.
The one you start with, Phoenix, is like it's called Phoenix Shift. It's like a pretty, I don't want to say short range, but like not super long range, like teleport, where you like teleport to the enemy and you
Yep.
can attack out of it, basically. And then you have you can equip 2 like special abilities, like super attacks, basically, to each icon that you activate by holding R2 and then hitting square or triangle.
Got it.
And yeah, and then there's like there's a dodge, and then there's a dodge button, which is R1, I think.
Okay. Yep.
So yeah, at a baseline, the combat isn't very complex, but it seems like you can do some cool combos and stuff with it. So, and again, I didn't really feel like I got the hang of it in the bit that I played, and I could play the demo again or play it more, but I don't really feel the need to do that.
Got it.
I think the real game, I think they showed, is going to have like a training mode as well, type thing, where you can just go in and like practice combos and stuff. So
Yeah, I feel like that would be helpful to just figure out what works best for the, I guess, for each their own, each their own on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I like what I played. Again, it wasn't like super Craigasm for me like it was for a lot of people, but I like what I played. I enjoyed it. Again, the story was quite mature and like dark and gritty and
Yep.
that kind of stuff, but not in a cringe way. I think they did it well. They didn't like try to be dark and then it's like super cringe.
Okay.
So
edgy cringe. Let's
yeah.
go. That's good.
Oh, the one other thing that I want to mention was
Yep.
like kind of a cool feature that I found in the game, and that maybe not everyone noticed. If you pause during a cutscene, obviously you can skip the cutscene if you want. That's not what I'm talking about though. If you pause during a cutscene, you can hit, I think it's the center button, like the touchpad thing, and then it brings up like a lore. It'll bring up like 5 or 6 things that are like related to the cutscene, whether it be like the location you're in, the things they're talking about, the characters that are in the cutscene,
Okay.
and then you can like read a blurb about each of those things for like basically reference to what is going on in the cutscene.
Yeah,
so
that seems nice.
I found that to be like a pretty cool and like useful feature as
That's
well.
nice.
Where I'm like,
that's really
okay,
nice.
I don't really know what they're talking about here. Let me like pause and open this thing up and like see who these people are and like what the hell they're talking about. Right?
Yeah, that's very nice. Sorry, that's very nice.
So yeah, it seems like and they showed this in a previous trailer, that there's going to be a pretty like expansive like lore compendium that you can unlock, but I think part of that is tied to that feature that I just talked about, where you can just pause during the cutscene and read about characters or things that are going on in that cutscene. So
that's kind of a nice. That's a nice feature. That's a very nice feature. I actually haven't seen that used before.
I have not either.
That's very interesting. Good idea, though. Good idea. More people should do that, particularly for JRPGs, if I may say so myself.
Yeah, definitely. They can be complex with a lot of characters and proper nouns.
Yeah, exactly.
Places
There's just a lot of proper nouns, and you're like, what? What? Huh? Where's that? Who's that? Okay. great. I'll just go with it.
And they definitely like throw you into it at the beginning of the game where they're just like, there is stuff happening and there's like cutscenes and people talking about dominance and icons and factions and wars and all this stuff, and you're like, what the hell are these people talking about?
Like, yeah, I agree. That's exactly where that's helpful.
The other thing to mention, by the way, real quick, and I think we mentioned this slightly before. There was a report at one point that there's like 12 hours of cutscenes in this 40-hour game, so like 25% of the game is cutscenes, basically. Yep. And that is, the beginning is very, very, very cutscene heavy.
Yeah.
Like, holy moly, you sit through like 30 minutes of cutscenes, do the tutorial, walk around a little bit, hit through a bunch more cutscenes, and then finally you get sort of like a full like playable mission / section where you slay a bunch of goblins and there's a couple of boss fights. And then not that many more cutscenes, like a few more cutscenes, and then sort of the climax of the prologue or the intro section after that, which is mostly gameplay as well. But like the first hour to hour and a half is like at least 50% cutscenes. Like, it's a lot.
Jesus Christ. Okay. I guess they're just using the time to set everything up. I mean, like, that's kind of what you do if you're gonna use a 45-minute set of cutscenes in your first hour and a half. You have to set everything up. I mean, like, it's totally fair if you have like a lot of stuff you need to say. I guess saying it through just like a video moment like that, you got to do it.
Yeah, again, I didn't feel like, I wasn't like, again, I'm someone who plays long JRPGs and I don't mind a lot of cutscenes, but just as a forewarning to some people, I guess, who maybe aren't used to JRPGs or have this super high cutscene ratio, yeah, this one seems to have an especially high cutscene ratio, especially, I would assume once you get into the meat of the game and you're like getting into the more open, I don't know how open the game is going to be, but supposedly at least there's going to be some like open areas that you can explore a little bit. Those will be obviously much more gameplay heavy and much less cutscene heavy, but the beginning of the game is very cutscene heavy. So that's just an observation, not necessarily a good or bad thing. And I was never bored. I never felt like they were like wasting time or showing me things that I didn't need to see, or being overly verbose or anything like that. But,
just an observation.
Just an observation that the beginning is incredibly cutscene heavy.
Yeah, I kind of expect the beginning to be a lot of cutscenes and the end to be a ton of cutscenes. That's what I expect. The middle's going to have cutscenes, of course. I expect a ton in the beginning, a ton in the end, and you're just like, that's where it all goes. Because you got to figure out where things are going, and then the climactic end is always going to be just like a fuck ton of cutscenes. Because you gotta get all those moments packaged together, and you gotta answer all the questions, and 12 hours in a 40-hour game though seems like an interesting ratio. That being said, I'm not super surprised at all, actually. I feel like I'm not too surprised, if I'm being honest. Like, there's going to be a lot of stuff that has to be said, and like, you could do codexes that people could read in the game, which there probably is already, or you explain it. And that's just how it goes.
This game seems like it's going to have both.
Yeah, which is what it is. Anyway. But yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be hanging out. I don't know if I'm going to get a PS5 in a while. It's just like, I have zero desire. Because I just just don't jump into new things effectively enough. But anyway, when does that game come out again? That was
Thursday.
A demo. This Thursday.
This coming Thursday, June 22nd. June 22nd. So I'm not gonna be able to play it this weekend, obviously, because we have the wedding. But I will play it when we get back.
Yeah. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Also, as an interesting side note, I went to like pre-order the game as well as a few other games that I'm interested in coming out in the next month or so on Amazon.
Yep.
And like, I don't know if things are back ordered or what they're doing, but like the delivery dates were not the day the game came out. So I was like, yeah, okay, we're not doing that.
Probably a back order. I don't know. Back order, I would assume. It's interesting with games and Amazon. That does tend to happen, I would say, more often now. I'm starting to get the sense that Amazon's back ordering more stuff for games. Probably just because, like, when a game comes out, there are so many orders of it at once.
Yeah.
So you're just like, you have to handle so many orders at one particular time getting shipped out. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Just observation, of course. But yeah, I don't know what other games are coming out soon outside of Final Fantasy, just off the top of my head. Is there anything?
For me, a few like smaller things. I believe not on the 30th, which is not next Friday, but the Friday after that. This game called Master Detective Archives Rain Code, which is on the Switch. It's a Switch exclusive, and it's from the Danganronpa team. So,
Oh, got it. Okay.
it's different than Danganronpa. It's not like this school murder setting that Danganronpa was, but it's like a mystery game and
Got it.
looks to have similar gameplay mechanics. So I'm interested in playing that because I did like the Danganronpa games.
Yep.
And then on July.
I'm looking at July right now. Here's what I've got for July. Obviously, this is probably not going to be everything. I'm just looking at names I might recognize. Immortals of Avium is the 20th. Pikmin 4 is the 21st. I'm just looking at other stuff. I don't have anything else in July on the list I'm looking at.
This Trails into Reverie is coming out July 7th.
Oh yeah, that's not even on that list.
No,
I'm like, look at it's not going to be on the list. And then August, again, stuff's not going to be on this list. Madden. By the way, if you do want to have some fun, go watch Angry Joe's recent Madden video. Enjoy.
Yeah.
That's now the highlight of my year.
NFTs in Madden.
NFTs in Madden, lol. Let's see. Smurfs cart, lol. Armored Core. FromSoft.
Yep. Armored Core 6.
Somebody's going to be really disappointed when they figured out that Armored Core is not Dark Souls. Baldur's Gate 3 is at the end of August.
Oh yeah.
That game has been obviously early access a while. But that's going to be full released in August. So I'm just looking at other stuff in August. I really like some of these names just are not jumping out at me besides Madden and Baldur's Gate 3. Again, Armored Core I think is going to disappoint a lot of Souls people because they're going to be like, "Oh my god, it's a FromSoft game." And then they're going to realize it's just mechs. It's not Dark Souls, and they're going to be like, "Ugh, gross."
There's no bonfires in Armored Core.
Guys, it's Armored Core. It's not fucking Dark Souls.
It's not mechs. It's not mech Souls, guys. It's Armored Core.
I'm gonna be upset when I read something on Twitter that's like, I was so disappointed. I thought Armored Core was gonna be the Dark Souls of Gundam. And I'm gonna be like, God, fuck all of you. Oh my god. Anyway. Yeah.
And then Starfield in September.
Yep. Starfield's in September 6th. Mortal Kombat 1 is September.
Oh yeah.
Payday 3 is September. Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC expansion September. Yeah. There's some next couple months has got a couple juicy ones. There's a couple juicy ones on the radar.
Sure.
It'll be interesting how everything pans out, particularly when I see on Twitter somebody complaining about Armored Core. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah. I don't know. I don't have anything else, to be honest. My Diablo time will hopefully increase. Not during the wedding, but soon. I gotta get going. I gotta get before season 1. I have one more thing before we end soon. One more thing to ask: are you going to do a seasonal character in Diablo? Yes or no?
Probably.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see like where I'm at with other games like Final Fantasy. I want to play Trails when that comes out in early July. Yeah, and Raincoat as well. So we'll see where I'm at with other games. I probably won't play as much Diablo as I did when the game came out, but as of now, I would say I will likely play a seasonal character for Diablo. I want to at least, well, probably, but it also depends. They said they're going to do another live stream in a few weeks, probably in early July, and explain what Season 1 is going to be.
Yeah.
Like what kind of content. And if it sounds like there's going to be interesting content in Season 1, that makes it more likely that I will play a seasonal character. But if it sounds like it's going to be mostly the same and maybe they added one or two things, then it's less likely that I will play a seasonal character. So we'll see.
That's fair.
But right now I'll say probably. I think I like the game enough to play, another character.
Yeah, sure.
Season 1.
Yeah, I am thinking about doing a Season 1 character too. So we'll I don't know. We'll see where we're at when we actually get there. I do think I will try to do a seasonal character at least for the first season, see how it goes, and then go from there. But anyway, okay. Any other stuff?
Good. Nope, that's it.
Okay. Let's end here. Again, reminder: no podcast next week, so we'll be back July 1st, right before that July 4th holiday on Tuesday, and we'll talk about game news over the last 2 weeks. I imagine there'll be stuff on Final Fantasy, of course, that will be discussed, and from there we'll see where things go with the rest of the news. I'm very curious to see actually all the news that comes out for Twitch in particular, to be honest.
See how many L's Twitch can take in the next 2 weeks.
I think there's going to be some stuff next week that'll get talked about, because they released the XQC thing on a Friday, which was interesting, but I guess it makes sense because you want to go over the weekend with the biggest news. So anyway, okay, we'll be back July 1st, and we'll get these VODs up before Wednesday because we have to travel. Spoon and I will be traveling. So thanks everyone for watching the podcast as per usual, and we will see you guys July 1st.